Howdy gamers, Patrick Hickey Jr. here, Editor-in-Chief of ReviewFix.com, bringing you the next edition of Jibber Junk. This week out, we are going to be playing Aggressive Inline on the Game Boy Advance. So, Aggressive Inline was one of these really fun, different extreme sports games on the PS2. I mean, it was super underrated. I enjoyed it. I thought Acclaim did a great job on the console versions. I'm sure you guys hear this, but that's Hoobastank in the background on the Game Boy Advance. The choices that I make will fall for nothing. Maybe what it's for. I'm gonna stop singing. But the fact that this is like even on there, holy shiza. So, if you played the Tony Hawk games on the, there you go. If you played the Tony Hawk games on the Game Boy Advance, this is kind of similar, except the fact that, like, how do you show skates on here? It's hard. It looks like the guy's just basically running. The pixel art leaves a little something to be desired. The animations are not bad, but this may not have been the game to debut. Like they should have. This is a hard sell on the Game Boy Advance. It's not a terrible game. It's just, things are just so much easier when you have, there you go, now we got some speed going. When you've got the skateboard and this like faux 3D going on, it's really hard to tell like where your character is. I mean, some of this stuff is really fun to pull off, but like bottom line is like the skateboarding works on the Game Boy Advance. This, not so much. It's not as good as Tony Hawk on the Game Boy Advance, but it's still playable at the same time. I would have liked for it to be a little bit easier to grind. Like, showing like where your character is a little bit more difficult than it should be. The control, because this is the thing too, skateboarding, it's impossible to skateboard backwards. Skating, I mean, look at this, skating backwards. If you're a great skater, you can skate backwards, and the fact that this is in there is super awesome. But there's just so many like things that need to be nailed down to make this game perfect. This is not junk. This is just a game that, like, probably if it had a little bit more time to percolate, could have been, there you go, now we're grinding, baby. Could have been a little bit better, you know? So yeah. Is this playable? Will you enjoy it? Yes! We're grinding, baby. We're doing it. It's playable. It's enjoyable, but again, this could have been so much better had there been a little bit more time and energy put into this. Like the skating on, like the grass is basically like non-existent, you know, whatever. Lots of things going on here. I definitely suggest you check it out though.